I am so excited that I lost this weight and that I'm feeling really good. I have lots to update you guys on, so let's get started. Hi friends! So we're going to do a little mini car vlog today to give you the update on my results from my week 1 on hyperketosis. In the previous video, I shared with you all of my meals. It was like a cook with me. I shared with you everything that I ate, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And in today's video, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that week and basically how much weight I lost, as I continue to share not only my weight loss journey, but my health journey, my perimenopause journey, all of the above. If you need help in this hyperketosis, if this is something that you feel like would help you, and this is something that you want to try to do for yourself, there's a guide in the description box. That guide has everything you need in it that will help you really kickstart your this lifestyle journey for you, if this is something that you're really interested in. So basically, let's see. The last time I gave you guys an update was right before Memorial Day, right? I had lost weight before Memorial Day, but after Memorial Day, there was a lot of stuff going on and I was eating. I wasn't like monitoring what I was eating. I was just kind of like eating anything that I wanted to at that point. Like I wasn't controlling my eating or focusing on my carbs or counting or anything like that, because we had a lot going on with my family, and my kids' schedule, especially for swim, got really busy and hectic, and I just did not have the time or mental capacity to focus on what my weight loss journey or my keto lifestyle. All right. I'm just being honest with you guys. And I know I'm trying to get better at managing that when things come up, because I have like a personality where it's like, I'm either all in 100% or I'm all the way out 100%. There is no like one toe in, one toe out, or one foot in, one foot out for me. I'm like all in or I'm like all out. And so that's kind of how it's been with me, having a ketogenic lifestyle. And I don't want that to be, though. I want to be able to just have it be a little bit more balanced, especially when, life's, because it happens to us all. And when I can't meal plan, or I can't, always have protein at my fingertips in the fridge, or I can't, just focus on everything that I eat, when I just choose convenience over, prep. And so even though I feel like I'm at the age now where I really have to get serious about my health and putting myself first, putting my needs first, because, as a woman, a wife, a mom, a daughter, a sister, in my 30s, I just felt like I was so focused on those roles and wanting to fulfill those roles to my greatest potential. And I feel like I've done that and I'm really good at it, but I really have to show up for myself and show up for self-care the way I need to show up for myself, especially at this age. Because I feel like the decisions that you make, especially now, okay, now that you see like when you're in your 40s, you see how fast a decade can go. Especially when your kids start getting, my Ava's 11 or 10, about to be 11, and Zara's 13. So now it's like, I feel like, oh my gosh, that decade went by so fast. You guys were just toddlers. Even my YouTube career, I've been on here for a decade posting consistently. That went so fast. Like, you see how fast the decades go. And so the decisions you make right now, I've said this all the time, the decisions you make right now in your 40s is a complete indicator on how your health is going to be in your 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s. You got to focus on that muscle, building that muscle. You got to focus on eating whole foods, trying to cut out the processed foods and all of that. So I say all that to say that I think this week was a good example of what happens when you slip up and then you turn around and come back strong. Because usually if that happens to me and I slip up like that, like I had that hamburger, I had a McDonald's cheeseburger, girl, and it was delicious, I would just scrap it, the video. I just would said, forget it. And I would have just ate, whatever. The rest of the week would have been like, fast food or stuff that isn't good for my body, body type, you know, because I'm not saying that everybody needs to be keto or everybody should eat hyperketosis. Of course not. Everybody's different. But for me and my body, and what my body responds to really well is hyperketosis, is a ketogenic lifestyle. So I feel like that's a good example. Like, you got to give yourself grace. It happens. It's okay. Listen to your body. Do what's best for your body. And I feel like your body in response will give you that health that you need, and, you know, do everything that you need to do. I do feel like, you know, I've said this before. I'm a Christian. I speak from a Christian perspective, but I feel like sometimes the enemy just wants us distracted. I feel like the biggest thing for me is when I lose distraction on, or when I lose focus on the things that I want to accomplish, or the person that I know I am. Okay. That's when you just start, eating whatever. You eat a whole bag of Fritos, or let's just get Chick-fil-A tonight. Let's just get McDonald's tonight. You know what I mean? Or let's just scroll on our phone, doom scrolling. All of those are distractions, because the enemy does not want us to live our best life. The enemy does not want us to fulfill our purpose for the reason that God put us here on this earth. He wants us confused. He wants us questioning everything, instead of just quieting your mind, listening to God to give you the guidance that you need, and trusting yourself enough to know that you're on the right path. Sorry, I kind of went off on a little tangent there, but other than that, you know, the week was good. We did have a lot going on with my family. Remember, we were at the hospital like for a really long time. We had got up really early, and I was really, really proud of myself for not, you know, just giving up and just eating. You know, I stayed focused, even though my times that I was eating was completely different, because we had gotten up at 3:00 in the morning that day. Yes, I did have cheese on my omelet, and that day was more or less eating keto and not hyperketosis, because hyperketosis does take a lot of planning. I would love for you guys to do this final week with me, but just start planning now. This week of July 4th, I'm doing hyperketosis until July 4th. And I know on the 4th, I'm going to enjoy the food. I already have plans to go to a party, actually 2 parties. And so, I know I'm going to be enjoying the food. And so it is what it is. I know that ahead of time. I'll probably have an alcoholic drink. I know it ahead of time. So I'm not going to beat myself up for doing that. I'm going to enjoy the food. I don't want to indulge and stuff myself, but I'm going to enjoy the food. I'm hanging out with my friends. We're going to brunch. It's just going to be like a really fun, positive weekend. And I'm going to indulge in food that, you know, does not coincide with a hyperketosis lifestyle. And that is okay. I'm okay with that. So, this week, so it's really going to be hyperketosis for this week coming up. It's going to be hyperketosis for the 4 days. I know you guys are seeing this in the future, but I'm just talking to you like you guys, like we're besties right now talking. Okay. So the other thing is, while after Memorial Day, and like we had so many graduation parties and cookouts and stuff like that, it's so hard. And I was eating, you know, I did gain a little weight. I did not gain a lot. I gained like 12 pounds, I think. Okay, so let me do the math really quick. When I first started in January through, what was that? Early April, I had lost 26 pounds. Okay, and then, let's see, I gained 13 of it, half. Okay. And that's where I'm locked back in now. Stay with me here. I'm locked back in. Okay. And I lost some weight this week. And so again, it's not always about the weight. Like, I can feel my body get inflamed when I start eating the processed foods, when I start eating the fast foods, when I start eating the stuff that's just not good. Everything has sugar in it. And it's like, when you indulge your body in sugar, it's like you can totally feel your body changing. You know what I mean? And so that, for me, I started feeling that. I started feeling little things, little twitches in my wrist, feeling stiff and arthritic. My hips feeling really tight. Like when I would sit and braid my girls' hair, like I do their hair. And so I felt like when I would get up after a couple of hours, my hips would be really tight and stiff, my ankle. So I started feeling that. And that's why I was like, okay, it's time for me to lock back in and do another reset. And that's what I'm currently doing right now. All right. So let's talk about what my results were. from that week. And it was hard on the weekend, girl, because I'm the order out queen on the weekend. I'm gonna take out queen, okay, because I get tired of cooking, because you get tired of tasting your own food. And also that's something that's really helping me this week is my husband's doing hyperketosis with me, so that makes it easier too, like when he's doing it with me. Usually we both eat ketogenically together, but this time he was like, okay, I'll do hyperketosis with you, and that's made it really, really, really nice. But yes, the weekends it was hard, but honestly, it, like, once you lock in and you start feeling good, like you start having those bowel movements, you're eating enough fiber, you are you don't have those stomach pains, because that's another thing. I was starting to get stomach aches again. I would get these stomach aches, especially when I first started in January, that hurt so bad. It was like an intense sharp pain in my lower stomach. You could tell something was going on. They were fighting to digest my food. And every morning I would get these stomach aches. And immediately when I started hyperketosis, the stomach aches completely stopped. Because I think it's just eating the whole foods. Eating the real foods makes a huge difference and just gives your body a break. The fasting gives your body a break from digestion, everything. So that I could see was happening, and that gives me the motivation to keep going. It's like those little small wins that you can feel in your body that gives you the motivation to just, let's go. It's hot in here. Sorry, I'm in my car. I'm burning up. I'm at my kids' swim practice. We're at swim for like 2 hours every morning, but we're at the tail end of the season where we're getting ready to have the championship. So that's awesome. But anyways, okay. So let's talk about my weight, how much I lost this week. Let's see. Okay, so for this week, hyperketosis, week 1, where even when I slipped up and had that cheeseburger from McDonald's, and I had the keto meal, not hyperketosis meal, but a keto meal, I lost 6 pounds, and I'm here for it. So I'm only 6 pounds away from my original weight from when I lost the 26 pounds. That is amazing. And I plan on losing that this week. If I don't hit the goal, it's okay, because again, I have a jam-packed weekend that's going to be full of food. Am I sweating? I feel like I'm sweating so bad. I have a jam-packed weekend that's going to be full of food, family, friends, and enjoyment. And so I'm already preparing my mind for that, because if you want to be the best version of yourself, girl, you have to do what's best for you. And for me, I like to prepare my mind for that. I like to pick up my outfits, and I like to just do what it is that I need to do. I'm just so excited that I lost this weight and that I'm feeling good again. And I encourage you all, don't slip up in the summer. It's easy to slip up, girl. There's parties, there's birthdays, there's holidays, there's cookout food, desserts, all of the above. And it's okay to indulge from time to time, but just don't make it an everyday thing. Turn around and pick it back up. The other thing I wanted to share with you guys is that I joined a tennis team. I'm so excited that I joined this tennis team. It's having me work out and play tennis again. I went on a really long walk with my husband yesterday. It just feels like it gives you, when you eat the whole foods, or like for me, when I'm eating hyperketosis, you would think, oh man, I'm so weak because I'm not eating as much, or I'm not, I'm only eating 2 meals. But honestly, it gives you this kind of kick and energy to just, you know what, let me just turn up. Let me just show up for myself. Yes, I want to go for a 2.5 mile walk. Yes, I want to go play tennis for 2 hours and burn 700 calories. Like, I don't know, you get this like energy of success for yourself. And that's what I want for you guys. Even if you don't eat hyperketosis, whatever, do what's best for you, but just be the best version of yourself. The summer of 25. Let's do it. Let's turn up. So I will be vlogging what I'm going to be cooking for the 4th of July, if you're interested. I know some of you guys like my vlogs, my cooking vlogs, especially my Thanksgiving cooking vlogs. It's just going to be my family, my immediate family, which includes my parents and my sister and us. But I'm cooking us like little small dishes, small amounts of a lot of different things. And that's going to be really exciting for me as well. Listen, leave any comments down below. Also, if you need help in this hyperketosis, if this is something that you feel like would help you, and this is something that you want to try to do for yourself, there's a guide in the description box. That guide has everything you need in it that will help you really kickstart your this lifestyle journey for you. If this is something that you're really interested in, please consider subscribing so you can follow my journey. You can follow my updates so that you see what we could just accomplish our goals together, girl. Hit that follow and like button. All right, y'all. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate and love every single one of you for spending time with me today as I'm sweating, melting in my car. I love you all so much. I'm getting ready to go shop at the farmer's market here to get some fruit for the week. And you know what? I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.